When was the last time you felt honestly close to God? Not the last time you said, "I'm fine." Not the last time you went through the motions. I mean the last time you felt seen, held, understood. Has it been a while? Have you caught yourself thinking, even if you'd never say it out loud, "God, where did you go?" If that's even a little bit you, let's stay here for a moment. No pressure, no fixing, just you and these words for a while. There are seasons in life when you don't stop believing in God. You just stop knowing what to do with Him. You still bow your head when others pray. You still whisper, "Thank God," sometimes. But if you're honest, something inside feels distant. You remember praying with expectation once, praying with a kind of quiet excitement, like maybe, just maybe, God was listening. And then life happened. You asked for healing, and the illness stayed. You begged for your family to hold together, and this then, and it still cracked. You pleaded for a job, a door, a breakthrough, and the only answer you heard was silence. You watched people around you get the very things you were crying out for. They posted their celebrations, their answered prayers, their God is good moments. And you sat with a tired heart, thinking, "I'm happy for you, but why not me?" You might not even be angry anymore, just tired. Tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of telling yourself, maybe next month. You go to bed exhausted, even on days that weren't physically hard, because carrying questions is its own kind of weight. You lie there at night, staring at the ceiling, thinking things you'd never post, never admit in a small group, never say in front of people who seem to have it all together with God. Thoughts like, did I do something wrong? Did I miss His will? Did I disappoint Him? Did He forget about me? You might still show up. You might still smile. You might still say the right words. But inside, you feel like someone who's been left on read by heaven. Message sent. No reply. Why does that hurt so much? Because this isn't just about circumstances. It's not just about money or health or relationships or opportunities. It's about trust. It's about the part of you that believed you were not facing life alone. You built your choices around the idea that God was with you. You turned down things that didn't feel right. You tried to listen. You tried to be faithful. So when the ground shakes anyway, it feels less like life is hard and more like, maybe I was foolish to trust at all. It's like walking through a familiar house and suddenly all the lights go out. You know the space. You can picture every chair, every table, every doorway, but now you can't see anything. You move slowly. You reach out your hands. You bump into things you used to navigate without thinking. That's what spiritual confusion feels like. Same life, same God, but the light is gone, and you're standing in a dark room that used to feel safe. Or maybe it feels like a storm. Not the dramatic kind with lightning and thunder crashing, but the long, gray kind. The kind of storm where the sky is heavy for days, where the rain is more of a drizzle that never really stops. You can still go about your life, but everything is damp, colder, heavier. Your energy is lower. Your thoughts feel slower. You find yourself saying, "I'm just tired," because it's easier than saying, "I feel like God walked away and didn't say why." For some, it feels like winter. Trees stripped bare, ground frozen hard, not much color anywhere. You used to feel something when you prayed. Now it feels like words only. You used to sense a kind of warmth when you thought about God. Now you just feel blank, numb, like a part of you went into hibernation just to survive. In that place, people's quick answers start to sting. God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. Just trust. Just believe. Just let go. You know they mean well. You know they're trying to help, but their words hit the surface of your heart and slide right off. Because what you need is not someone to explain God. You need someone to sit with you in the fact that you don't understand Him right now. So if no easy answers, what can we say here? Maybe we start with what this is not. This is not proof that you are weak. Your confusion does not make you a fake. Your exhaustion does not make you a failure. Your questions do not make you less spiritual. This is what it feels like to be a human being in a broken world who took God seriously and got hurt anyway. Of course it aches. Of course you're tired. Of course some days you don't even know how to start a prayer. Sometimes the most honest prayer you can manage is just a sigh that never turns into words. Sometimes it's a single sentence. I don't even know what to say to you, but I'm still here. That doesn't sound impressive. It doesn't sound strong. But there is a quiet kind of strength in simply not walking away, in refusing to pretend everything is fine, and refusing to pretend God is gone forever, just staying, just breathing, just letting the possibility remain that even in this darkness, you are still seen. You may not feel a hand on your shoulder. You may not hear a voice. But the absence of sensation is not the same as the absence of God. Sometimes the most hidden work happens in the deepest winter. You don't see the roots. You don't hear the slow movements beneath the surface. But life is still quietly there, holding on. Hope in seasons like this cannot be loud. If it is too bright, too cheerful, too quick, it feels fake. So let hope be small, not fireworks, not a shout. Let it be a candle in the corner of a dark room, soft, flickering, almost fragile. That small light doesn't change the whole room, but it does change the way the darkness feels. You may not be ready to say big things like, I know God will use this, or I'm sure this will all make sense one day. That's okay. You don't have to. Maybe for now, hope sounds more like this. God, I don't understand you. I'm disappointed. I feel abandoned. But if you are still here, please don't let go of me even if I barely know how to hold on to you. That kind of prayer is not weakness. It's honesty. And honesty is often the only door you can still open when everything else feels shut. If all you can bring to God is your confusion, your numbness, your quiet anger, bring that. You don't have to fix your feelings before you are allowed to be with Him. You don't have to scrub your heart clean before you can sit in His presence. You are not too broken, too tired, too complicated to be heard. Sometimes the most sacred thing you can do is simply say, this is where I really am, and I'm not going to hide it from you anymore. Right now, as you listen, try something small. Just breathe, in and out. Feel the air fill your lungs. You don't have to feel God in this moment. You don't have to force yourself into some emotional experience. Just notice that you are still here. After everything, you're still here, still breathing, still listening. There is a reason your heart hasn't given up completely, even if it feels close sometimes. Some quiet part of you still hopes there is more to this story than what you see right now. You don't need to name that part. You don't need to make it bigger. Just don't crush it. Let it exist. Let it whisper under all the noise, maybe I'm not as alone as I feel. As this video ends, nothing outside you may have changed. The same problems, the same questions, the same unresolved stories, but maybe deep inside, there is a tiny shift. Not certainty, not answers. Just a little more room, to be honest. A little more space to believe that your pain is not ignored. So before you move on to the next thing, ask yourself very gently, In this place where I feel abandoned, am I willing to stay just a little longer, with my heart even slightly open to the possibility that God has not actually walked away? You don't have to force an answer. Let the question sit with you. Breathe, and remember, you are allowed to be exactly where you are right now. You are allowed to take this one breath, 1 hour, one fragile step at a time.